My name is Luis Rivera, and I will be giving an informative speech on privatized prisons. Prison privatization is often mistakenly viewed as a modern concept. Derived from the laissez-faire economic style first espoused towards the end of the 19th century. In the 1970s, due to overcrowded prisons and not enough INS facilities, the government officials began, like Congress and the president, began revisiting the idea of privatized prisons. The first wave of privatized prisons occurred when the juvenile criminal justice system could not house their offenders anymore. They ran out of room for housing. The first private state institution around this time, when the Corrections Corporation of America first formed, they were contracted in 1984 for the management of Hamilton County Jail in Tennessee. This modern shift from public penitentiaries to privatized facilities did not happen by accident. The United States has the highest prison rate per capita. We have the #1 prison population in the world, despite what our government says about North Korea, Russia, or China. According to National Magazine award-winning author Eric Schlosser, since 1980, spending on corrections at the local, state, and federal level have increased about fivefold. One of the things that is helping keep private prisons in practice is another public service turned into privatization, and it is privatized probation. A study on the practices of private probation companies in Georgia is revealing. In some courts, if defendants are financially unable to pay a fine on the day they are sentenced, they are placed on supervised probation until they pay off the fine. That is, someone with a traffic ticket who is unable to pay the fine at the time is placed on the same probation that a violent misdemeanor offender is placed on, all because of the inability to pay. While this might seem beneficial, being on probation and not in jail might seem beneficial to the defendant with little or no income, many of the private probation companies charge between $35 and $44 in monthly supervision fees, which means on top of their fine, they are forced to pay $35 to $44 in excess fees in order to remain out of jail for a nuisance ticket like parking or speeding. While many studies have attempted to compare the cost analysis between private and public prisons, comparability problems exist across all levels. They exist across levels of security, accounting methods, definitions of service, and measurement of cost. Additionally, very little of the research comparing prisons is peer-reviewed and is often funded by these same privatized prisons. One consensus across studies is private firms can build prisons more faster and more cost effective. Public prison construction usually requires more lead time due to additional regulations, which lead to higher outlays arising from costs. Private entities have an intangible advantage that they do not require voter approval, whether directly through a referendum or indirectly through the election or retention of politicians who are answerable to the people for funding. The research on cost saving, therefore, is inconclusive. This due to primarily two factors. First, the hidden costs and asymmetric information that lead to incomplete contracting. And second, variations in policies and contract specifications from state to state that lead to a lack of comparability. Private prisons should not be private. Prisons, probation, and other public services are offered at comparable prices more cheaply without the risk than private prisons run. Private prisons can go into a community, open up for 1 year, and as soon as their contract's over, they can terminate the contract, leaving that city jobless and that county with prisoners that never should have been in that county in the first place. These are some of the things I wanted to bring to your attention in this informative speech about private prisons. If there is anything else you would like to ask me, or you'd like to find out about private prisons, you can come up and ask me after I'm done with this speech. Again, my name is Luis Rivera, and I want to thank you for coming out and viewing my informative speech on private prisons. Thank you. Have a good night.